everybody and welcome to my channel. I actually have been dealing with a migraine all morning since about 6:30. It is now 12 o'clock. I am doing a little bit better, which is why I'm now filming this. We're fighting through it today, but this is literally the only day that I had scheduled out to film these two things. Like, I don't have a chance later to film this or the video that's coming out Wednesday, so I gotta do this today. So we're fighting through. We're fighting through. If my eyes start doing weird stuff, just pretend it's not happening. I get those aura migraines, and I don't have an aura right now, but everything's looking a little fuzzy. But we're gonna get into this because I do want to know if I read my 25 books of 2025, and I can tell you right now, I don't think I did. I actively think I actually did very poorly. I feel like I did really well last year when I did my 24 of 2024. I really think I failed this one pretty bad. A win would definitely be over 50%, but I really don't know if I got there, and I haven't been updating myself. So like in 2024, I feel like I kind of would check periodically like, oh, did I actually do this? Did I pick this up? I have not checked this video since I made it. I am really curious what we've gotten through and potentially maybe something maybe I could fit in later. Let's get into this. I don't think it's gonna be great. We're starting with Immortal by Sue Lynn Tan. Okay, we have read Immortal. I gave it a 1 star. So that's really awkward, but I really had high expectations for this. I was thinking it was going to be a 4 or 5 star. I thought it was going to expand somewhat on the Celestial Kingdom series because it said it was taking place in the same series. It defied all expectations in the worst possible way. It was just very poorly written, very poorly plotted. The romantasy was just really badly done. I understand what the author was trying to do with the book, but I don't think it was executed very well. It is definitely on my it is on my worst and my most disappointed list this year. Next, I have A Sea of Unspoken Things by... No, I haven't read that one. I don't even think I own that one. I was really excited because we gave Adrian Young's book. We read it last year in 2024. I think our January book was the Adrian Young book. Everyone loved it. The Undertaking, no, what is it? June Farrow. It's the June Farrow book. Loved it. 5 star, one of my favorites of that year. So I was really excited to get to this one, and then I heard nothing but bad reviews for it. So I was like, oh, now I'm really nervous. So I'm trying to think if I do have a copy. I know I have an Adrian Young. I just don't know which one it is. No, I don't think it's this one though. And that's why number 3 on this list is Spells for Forgetting, because I have not... Oh no, that's the one that I own. Spells for Forgetting is the one that I own. Still have not read it. It is sitting on my shelves. We'll probably get to it in the Fairy Loot Purge. Number 4, we have Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. Yes, I read this and actually loved this. I gave this a 4 star. The only reason it wasn't a 5 star is because I do wish they had used the witchcraft in a better way. I do agree with the critics about the witchcraft in it. If you're gonna name something a Witchcraft for Wayward Girls, there better be more witchcraft in it. There better be more magic, more intensity. I wanted more horror from the book, like classic horror. Wind is crazy outside right now. I loved the trauma horror in it. I'm definitely one of those people who likes fighting inner demons in their horror books. Like, that's why Gwendolyn Kist is like one of my favorite authors right now. But I also appreciate Grady Hendrix for his classic horror takes, like actual like jump scares, scary moments, and this book was definitely missing all of that, and I was expecting at least some of that. And again, just more witchcraft. Number 5 is obviously Onyx Storm. Yeah, I read that. I gave it a 4 star. It actually is on my most disappointed list of the year just because it was a 5 star expectation, 5 star favorite. And to be honest, I kind of felt super mid about it. Like, I was really excited to see our characters again. I was really loving that. But I generally did not love the plot of this one. It felt very much like a filler book. And I also don't like travel stories. And it was entirely a travel story. So I gave it a 4. I still really liked it. It just did not meet my expectations for the series. This one is number 6, and it is Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. I did read this. I read this, and I think I gave it a 4 star. No, I think I gave it it's either the 3.5 or a 3.75. I enjoyed this, not as much as her like original 3 books that she wrote, or as much as Bride and Mate. This is one that kind of falls in between. Like, I like it more than Not in Love, but it's definitely on the lower end of her books for me. And I thought it was fun. It was missing a little bit of the charm that I'm used to in an Ali Hazelwood book. I have a Live a Bray book, which Oh no.
Crazy. Under the Same Stars. I've been trying.
Yeah, I didn't read that. I didn't read that. I was really excited about this one, and then all I've seen is how heavy historical fiction it is, and not in like the way Diviners was. Like Diviners is technically historical fantasy. This seems much more historical than the Diviners was.
Next at number 8, we have Emily Wilde's Companion of the Lost Tales. Again.
Okay, no, I haven't read it. I do own it. Oh, see, this is what I was worried about. I have not read it. I actually have not read it because I want to reread the first 2 books, because I gave the first book a 5-star and I gave the second book a mediocre 3. I did not like the second book that much because I felt it was really boring. So I would like to reread books 1 and 2, and you guys know I don't like rereading books, and that's where most of my struggles are coming from right now, is I just don't want to reread them.
But it is Bemused, and it is one of the Disney.
Oh, I was so excited about this one because, like, I'm generally fine on these Disney recreated books. Hercules was always one of my favorite Disney movies when I was a kid, and I loved the Muses. I loved them so much, and I thought they would always make a really cool separate, like, movie, like, just them. I thought that would have been awesome. So I was really excited to read this, but I hated how it was written. I hated the writing style. I didn't like the constant point of view switches. It was just too much. It was a little hard to follow along with, and I was just really bored by it. So unfortunately, due to all those reasons, I ended up DNFing this one, but I guess I tried it. I guess I'll put a DNF counter as well, because technically I didn't read it all the way. That's a bummer. I forgot about this one.
Number 10, the book that we were all so excited for, besides Onyx Storm, you know. Sunrise on the Reaping.
That makes sense. I was like, what book were we all waiting for? Yeah, read it, obviously read it. Yeah, it was really good. It met expectations. I do think because I'm a Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes girl, this one did fall a little bit short of my expectations for it. I wanted to see something new, because that's what I loved about Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. It was new. It was so fraught with morally great characters. There was just, oh, you learned so much more about the world. I feel like Sunrise on the Reaping, for me, was primarily fan service. There was a lot of characters that you already knew that were introduced, and I do like knowing their backstory, but some of it did feel like it was thrown in there to make the fans really excited, and it felt less about coming up with a new story. It kind of just felt like a rewrite of a mix of The Hunger Games and Catching Fire. Like, just combine those 2 together, and it's basically what the book was. And I did sob. I sobbed at the ending. I was very emotional reading this book. I still loved it. Don't get me wrong what I'm saying. I gave it a 4.5. I just wanted more newness to the book, and I didn't feel the same way about this book as I did when I read Songbirds of Ballads and Snakes.
Then at number 11, we have Vera Wong's Guide to Snooping on a Dead Man.
Yeah, okay, I'm really excited this is on here. Okay. I read this with my mom. I read the first book with my mom. I read all of the Jessie Q. Sutanto cozy mystery romance things with my mom, and we both really liked this one. I gave this one a 4.5 because the ending was a bit confusing, but I did actually like this one better than the first one. I liked the first one. I gave the first one like a 3.75 to a 4. This one I gave a 4.5. I really loved this one. I loved the storyline. I liked the characters better. I liked what we were looking into more. I thought it was so good. I do think some of the more absurd humor was toned down a little bit, and so I enjoyed the humor even more in this one. My only problem, again, why I didn't get a 5-star, is the ending was a bit confusing. Like, my mom and I finished the book and I thought one thing happened. My mom finished the book, she thought something else happened, and then we talked about it and we had to go back and read through. So that's a little concerning that it wasn't exactly spelled out at the end what happened. You kind of just had to infer it from moments in the story. So I do wish it was a little more concrete with the ending, just because that moment was like, oh wait, what did happen? Like, we both read it differently.
Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid.
No, haven't read this. Haven't read this. I have to be in the exact emotional perfect state to be reading this, because I know it's gonna wreck me. Every single book that I've read by this author, minus Malibu Rising. Malibu Rising, gave it a 4-star, still enjoyed it. Wasn't the emotional damage that I was expecting, and it was just that one was a little bit boring. Everything else that I've read from her has broken me. Absolutely broken me. And I know this one's not gonna be any different. I watched Meg with Books read this book and turn into a puddle of tears, like sobbing, and I know that's gonna be me. and I'm just like not ready for it. I'm not ready for it. It's gonna have to be another time. I think I literally, for my next Shop My Shelves, I pulled 5-star predictions, so I think I'm gonna read it for the next Shop My Shelves. I just have to kind of build the courage up to do that.
At number 13, we have Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil.
Who? Yes, read it. I read it and I gave it a 1.5. It's actually on my list of books to reread because I want to give it a better chance having watched other people's reviews, because I've watched a bunch of negative reviews, I've watched a bunch of positive reviews, and I definitely identified more with the negative reviews. They kind of had this very similar thoughts that I had while reading the book. I kind of want to try reading it in a different light and physically, because I ended up listening to a lot of it, and you guys know sometimes when you listen to an audiobook, you can have a different experience than when you physically read a book. And so I want to physically read it to see if I even get through it, and if I have a different experience reading it, and see if I can kind of adjust my expectations and adjust what I'm looking for in the book.
Highly excited for that. I have to have it on here because I'm going to read it. I don't know if it's necessarily anticipated, but Riley Sager just released their new cover art for their new book. This is number 14 on the list, With a Vengeance by Riley Sager.
Well, you guys know how that went. You guys know how that book went for everybody. 1 star. One of the worst books that I read this year. Easily. Hands down, easily one of the worst books that I read. It was a mess of a book. I don't know what he was thinking. I know it's like he wanted to try something new and it just spectacularly failed. It did feel like he was trying to copy the writing of old detective fiction, and it just absolutely did not work. It was bizarre. It was boring. The pacing was awful. The characters made no sense. The plot made no sense. The twists were actually absurd and made no sense. That was the problem with most of the book, is it was boring and made no sense.
Next up, we have the next in the Spell Shop series.
Oh no.
It's definitely one of those, they're each standalones, but they're going to reference stuff from the previous books. The Enchanted Greenhouse.
That's really disappointing. So I think I just talked about this in my wrap up. I DNF The Enchanted Greenhouse. I'm not going to be continuing the series because what I thought was going to happen while reading The Spell Shop, because you guys know I'm not a big cozy fantasy fan. I have to be very specific. Love The Spell Shop, gave it a 4-star. I did not, basically everything that I love in The Spell Shop, none of that was in The Enchanted Greenhouse. I didn't like the side, animal characters, the plants. I just didn't like them in this story. I didn't really like the main character. I didn't love the male love interest. I was just very bored and checked out and not interested in the story. So unfortunately that was a DNF.
16 is the Jasad Crown. The Jasad era was a huge win.
Oops. Oops. This is another one where I want to reread the first book. Therefore, I have not gotten to the second book. So that's really unfortunate because I thought I was going to read this immediately. I got an e-arc for it and I was so excited to read it. And then I started panicking because I couldn't remember what happened at the end of the previous book. And then I started panicking again at the thought of rereading that giant chunky book. And so I just didn't. I didn't. And this should be on my list of things that I need to read immediately in 2026.
My favorite authors is coming out with a new book. The Library at Hellbore is at number 7.
Yes, I read this. I gave it a 5-star. Cassandra Khaw really is turning out to be a favorite. I feel like this was the book. That turned them into a favorite author. Fantastic. Library of Hellbore was so good, but I understand fully why people despised it. It is such a specific kind of book, and it's just it's so ridiculous. It's so bloody and disgusting in the best way. Loved it. Something about Cassandra Khaw's emotional writing just hits me. I don't know what it is. The way that they write certain passages just literally is a gut punch for me, and that's what makes the books mean so much to me. So 5 stars, loved it. I'm so excited I gave it 5 stars.
Possession of Alba Diaz.
Hey, I did read this. I read this for the Horror Purge vlog. So exciting because I actually like this one. I gave it a 4-star. I do want to reread it with higher expectations because I went into it with very low expectations because of the Vampires El Norte. But this did read like a combination between the Hacienda and Vampires of El Norte. I would have preferred it still felt more like the Hacienda, but I think this did a really good job. I wish there was more possession to the possession story. However, loved that ending. Oh my gosh, that ending was so good.
We have 2 books, so number 19 and number 20 are Never a Hero, which is the second book in the Only a Monster series, which I am going to be reading Only a Monster at some point. But the second book is Never a Hero, which I just haven't read it yet because I was waiting for the third one. I thought it was supposed to be a duology, and then I found out it was a trilogy, so I didn't read the second one because I didn't want to. So the third one is coming out next year, Once a Villain. So I need to read.
That's awkward. Only a Monster gave 5 stars when it came out. Reread it. Didn't feel the same vibe, but I still enjoyed it immensely. Read the second book, hated it. I hated the second book. 1 star. I mean, absolutely atrocious. I have not been that disappointed with a sequel in years. Like literal, since Violess Things. like I think that was like two years ago. Was it last year? Ooh, that feels bad if that was last year. I'm gonna try rereading Violess Things. I have hope for that one still. This was so bad. Never a Hero was so bad, and I did skim Once a Villain, so that one was a huge bummer. Like, huge bummer.
21, we are almost done. We have Accomplice to the Villain.
Hey, I just read this. Just read Accomplice to the Villain for the Romantasy Goodreads blog. I gave it a 3. I wasn't very impressed with it. I feel like this is the year of reading sequels that did not impress me, which is really unfortunate. I'm just ready to move on in the story. This book felt like a filler story. It felt like repeated a ton of stuff that happened in book 2. I don't feel like the romance really went anywhere. The only important thing that happened in the book were some side character moments and the end. The end gave us some new information that's going to go into the next book that I think is, I don't really like it. I don't really like the decision. I don't like the twist at the end of this book, to be honest. I just don't think it's very fun. I think it's surprising, but I don't think it's like a twist I enjoy.
We have at 22, Holly.
Have not gotten to this one. Still gonna put it as unread. However, I am trying to get to it in my sequel video if I can find it in the wrapped books. It's not going well. So I do plan to read this in December before 2026 ends. So I'll still put it in my unread, but hopefully it will be read.
Then the last 3 are just backlist stuff that I need to get to. We have His Majesty's Dragon by Naomi Novik.
Nope, didn't put that. Haven't read that. That's somewhere upstairs. I don't know where that book even is.
Part 24 is just read a Colleen Hoover book.
Read a Colleen Hoover book. I almost read Verity. This was before all the drama, I think, that happened with the movie and stuff. So that's a big oof. Still haven't done that. Lost interest in pretty much every Colleen Hoover. I am gonna read Verity. I'm gonna do it. I don't know if I read anything else, but I will read Verity at some point in the future. So definitely did not read a Colleen Hoover this year.
Last one, number 25, is read an Emily Henry book.
I did do that. It didn't go well, but I read Book Lovers. I gave it a 2 star. Didn't love it. I do think potentially I will like Funny Story better, or People We Meet on Vacation. Book Lovers is just not for me. I have a lot of feelings about that one. I have a vlog somewhere with that book in it. We're not going to get into it. Oh, final numbers, if I count the DNFs, because technically it does count, 4 read since I did attempt them. That leads us, if I counted correctly, it'll be, the actual number will be right here if I counted it incorrectly. 16 books out of the 25. You know what? I call that a major win. I only missed about 9 books. And so I think that's honestly great. I'm really excited about that. I read way more on this list than I thought. I thought I was gonna get like 5 off of this list. And I think I did set up 2026 for success, but I think I said that last year too, which I did. This is definitely a success. Anyway, definitely let me know down below how you did on your 25 of 2025, if you made a list, what books that you want to read for the end of this year, if you want to get to any more that you've missed maybe this year. I have a couple, like I said, Holly, I really want to get to before the end of this year. And yeah, that is everything that I have for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like it if you enjoyed it. Leave a, what kind of emoji? I guess Holly, so leave a plant. Leave any type of plant in the comments below if you want to let me know that you're here and you made it to the end of the video. Make sure you subscribe so you miss any future content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.